What if more men are taking GLP-1s than we realize, but almost nobody knows? Not their friends, not their coworkers, maybe not even their family. Because while women are openly sharing their shots and side effects, weight loss, and food noise, a lot of the men seem to be keeping their GLP-1 experience completely private. And I want to know why. Is it because men don't want to talk about their weight? Is there still a fear of being judged? Does taking medication feel like admitting they couldn't handle it on their own? Or are men simply saying, my health is nobody else's business? Men, I really want you to keep watching and tell me if I'm getting this wrong. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing something a little different. I want this to feel more like a conversation because I've noticed something. When I look around the GLP-1 community online, I see a lot of women talking about Ozempic, Wegovy, Zepbound, Mounjaro, weight loss, food noise, body changes, all of it. And of course, there are men talking about GLP-1s. I don't want to act like there aren't. There absolutely are. But it made me wonder why the conversation seems so much louder among women. And I started thinking, maybe this really isn't about GLP-1s. Maybe it's about how we teach men to talk about health. Think about what a lot of boys hear growing up. Be tough. Don't cry. Shake it off. You'll be fine. Handle it. And none of those things sound terrible by themselves. Being strong is a good thing. Being independent is a good thing. But what happens when being strong starts to mean I shouldn't need help? That's different. Because research has found that some traditional ideas about masculinity can make men less likely to ask for help, especially when asking for help feels like admitting, I can't fix this myself. And I wonder if that carries over into weight. Let's be real. Weight is very personal, and I know that firsthand. Telling somebody how much weight and how much you weigh can make you feel completely exposed. Now imagine you're a man who has spent years hearing, you should be strong. You should be able to control yourself. Just go to the gym. Eat better. Work harder. And then you decide, I need some help with this. That shouldn't be embarrassing. But it does feel embarrassing, doesn't it? That's what I want to know. And then there's the GLP-1 stigma. Because GLP-1s have their own stigma. We've heard it. We've heard all about it. That's cheating. That's the easy way out. Why don't you just eat less? Why don't you exercise? You have to take a shot to lose weight? And here's what's interesting. People taking GLP-1 medications really do report feeling judged. Some people are careful about who they tell because they don't want other people judging how they lost the weight. So now imagine putting those two things together. You have the stigma around weight, and you have the stigma around GLP-1s. And then you may have this idea that men aren't supposed to need help. That's a lot. Is it the vulnerability? This is the part I'm really curious about. Maybe talking about a GLP-1 requires a kind of honesty that some men aren't used to sharing publicly. Because once you start talking about your weight, you might start talking about why you gained the weight. You might talk about your relationship with food. You might talk about your health problems. You might talk about not liking your body. You might have to say, I was struggling. And that's vulnerable. And vulnerability can be uncomfortable for anybody, men or women. But some men may have grown up being told that vulnerability is a weakness. And I don't think that it is. Here's something I've learned on my own journey. Getting help doesn't mean that you failed. Sometimes getting help means you finally stop trying to fight the same battle alone. Think about it. If your car breaks down, you take it to somebody who knows how to fix cars. You don't stand beside the highway saying, I'm a grown man, I should be able to fix this. Okay, maybe some of you do. And you're probably watching a YouTube tutorial while you're doing it. But you get my point. We ask for help with things every single day. Why should our health be different? And I want to be fair here. Maybe men are talking about it. Maybe they're just not talking about it the same way. Maybe they're talking to their doctor, their wife, their partner, their best friend. Maybe they're in private Facebook groups. Maybe they're watching videos like this one and never commenting. Hello, Silent Sunshine family men. I know you're out there. And maybe some men simply don't feel the need to share their medication with anybody. And that's okay too. Nobody owes the internet their medical information. Taking a GLP-1 doesn't mean you have to announce it. But I do want men to know that they shouldn't have to feel that they have to hide it because they're ashamed. Those are two very different things. This is actually why I'd love to see more men talking about their experiences. Not because everybody needs to become a YouTuber. Please don't. Then I'll have even more competition. I'm kidding. But imagine a guy who's sitting at home right now. Maybe he's struggling with his weight. Maybe he's thinking about talking to his doctor. That's my dog. Maybe his doctor already suggested a GLP-1 and he's thinking, I shouldn't need this. Then he sees another man say, yeah, I needed some help. I talked to my doctor. This is what my experience has been. That could matter. Because sometimes seeing someone like you talk about something makes it feel okay for you to talk about it too. So men, I want to hear from you. And I'm serious about this. If you're a man taking a GLP-1, I want to hear from you. You don't have to tell us anything personal, but tell me this. Do you talk openly about being on a GLP-1? And if you don't, why? Is it private? Are you worried people will judge you? Does talking about your weight make you feel uncomfortable? Does taking medication feel like you're admitting that you need help? Or it's a sign of weakness? Or is the answer much simpler? Maybe you're sitting there thinking, Melissa, we just don't feel like talking about it. And that's fair too. But I really want to know because I don't want to speak for men. I want to hear from men. And ladies, I want you in this conversation too. Do you have a husband, boyfriend, brother, dad, friend? Have you noticed that the men in your life don't talk about their health very much? Because maybe this conversation is bigger than GLP-1s. Maybe we need to make it more normal for everybody to say, hey, I'm struggling with something. Okay. Or I need some help without feeling weak, without feeling embarrassed, and without feeling ashamed. Because taking care of yourself isn't weakness. It's taking care of yourself, period. So men, the comment section belongs to you today. I want to hear what you think. And friends, if you know a guy who needs to hear this conversation, send him this video. And I'll see you guys in the next one.